Hello, everyone.
Hello.
This is again Francisco and Simon from the Nice Game headquarters with our newest edition of Weekly,
Weekly
Spotlight.
Spotlight. Today we bring you Shadow
A
Rivals.
game with some unfortunate choices, maybe, but we're not here to comment too much on that. We are just here for the games.
And for the likes, don't forget to subscribe and like and blah, 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 blah.
So, Shadow Rivals is a game where we take control of a gang of thieves and try to outmaneuver each other as we go into mansions and
Steal from the rich.
exactly. But I don't think there's anything about giving to the poor in this case. So here's the basic setup of the game. Again, we're not going to comment too much on many of the artistic choices in the game. What you see here is the three mansions that we're going to be
Burn.
trying to burgle into. These are all small mansions because we're playing the two-player variant, and there's golden bigger mansions for more players. Each of the players has a deck of 8 basic members of their burglar team, and we draw 3 of them to our hand at the beginning of the game, and I think we can basically go right into this without further ado with my first turn, if you're ready. On my turn, I have the choice to play a card either face up or face down in any of these mansions. If I play them face down, which I'm going to do now, I am allowed to take a loot card, a loot token, and place it directly here on my card. And my gang member is now sneaking through this mansion, giving me 1 influence point there and filling up 1 presence point, which is important because it's going to trigger once the limit of presence is reached. So basically once enough, like if there's like 12 people wandering in that house, maybe at some point the police will notice and we'll have to get out with the loot. Then if it would resolve, it would trigger a whole bunch of stuff, but it doesn't yet, and so my turn ends and I just redraw back to my 3 hand cards.
So I will play on the same mansion Lady Lupin. And her effect is that place 3 loot tiles on this member card.
Right, and so
She's full of
she's like,
loot.
yeah, she's taking everything she can get there. And I am going to go ahead and place a face down card in another place, and that's going to be here, and also place a loot tile there. So there's a lot of different effects, and there's a little bit of a sign language here invented, which in the beginning is quite confusing. But there's a whole manual section that explains all of the abilities, and then there's this overview card that explains basically the most complicated ones as well in text. So we were a bit confused in the beginning, but then we managed, I think, just fine.
So I will play the Chat Noir. So her effect is that I place 1 of your influence tokens.
One of yours, yeah.
In another mansion.
Right.
So I put it here, and this is important because at the end, these influence tiles decide who wins, like who gets the bigger
Right.
loot from the mansion.
Exactly. So everyone, I think we can just demonstrate this more or less very soon. But everyone gets their own loot from their cards, unless an effect removes it first. And then we get reputation points based on who had the most influence. So it's kind of like a very simple area control, area majority kind of game. I'm going to go ahead and go here in the middle, and I'm also going to play my Lady Lupin. And she is also going to give me 3 loot here in the middle. So in the first game that we tried, we kind of all piled onto the same mansion at first, and I think now we are already a little bit more sophisticated.
I will play Damsel here.
All right. So this is, if there's a tie in that mansion, then Francisco will win the ties. I'm going to go ahead and play my maid in here, and that allows me to flip your card face down.
So I will play the detective, move one member card from this mansion to another mansion, or move one member card from another mansion to this mansion.
Wow. Okay.
And I'll move her.
And then we can see how resolving works. So the first thing we do is we activate any skills that would still be triggered, but there are not any. The second thing is we gain loot. Now we can also show, you can take your 3 loot there, that there is a little bit of a set collection going on there with different sets giving you different abilities here or different ways to score. But of course you don't have a lot of control over that. The next step is resolving this influence game here. Your members give you 4, your influence tile gives you 6, that's way more than my 3. So in a 2-player game you would gain 5 of these points and I would gain 2. This is a fun part. Then we get to actually upgrade one of the members that we've used. So in my case this was her or her. And the way we do this is, you might have already noticed these upgrade piles. We are going to just choose any one of these. For example, I would choose now her. I don't know which upgrade I'm getting, but it is this one, and that's now going to give her a stronger ability. And I'm going to place that in front of myself, and now I can use this instead of one of the cards from my hand.
I'll do the same.
Right. This is how the game goes on. In total, you score, I think, 7 mansions. We're not going to play the whole game because that would take a little bit too long. But I think you've gotten a rough idea of how this works. I think it's a pretty decent area majority, hidden bluffing kind of game. Once you've kind of grokked the symbology.
So if you were interested in this game, you can find it on the shop. It will be with a discount.
And of course, we are still very happy if you like or subscribe or talk to us in the comments about things you want to see and things you don't want to see. We will definitely read everything. That's it for today, everyone. Have a nice time. See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Today, I'm going to try and say hello in the most annoying way I can.